Hello again everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Murder on the Orient Express with me, Classic Gamer. Carrying on now, I've decided to do another video tonight, being the 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas, and well, 4 days you want to exclude today and go with tomorrow because today's nearly over. It's now currently 2 minutes to 11 o'clock at night, so let's continue. And we're now at the stop-off point where they're going to bring on supplies. We're going to have a look around and then get back on. Get back on the train.
Antoinette, you are responsible for the passengers' well-being. Look for Klaus's bacon. Quite interesting.
Bloody awful weather.
The train better get moving soon. The passes west of here fill with snow pretty fast. Back in '29, there was a train trapped up there for a week.
Ah, Colonel Arbuthnot, isn't it? And Mr. McQueen.
That's right. Say, you're the company representative, aren't you? I heard there was one on the train.
Is there anyone in the station?
Only people we've seen were an attendant and a passenger, I think. They boarded that coach they're adding to the train. Then somebody turned out the station lights. It's the Athens-Paris coach, I think. Mr. Ratchet and I travel this route quite a bit.
Yes, well, I've all the fresh air I need, if you'll excuse me.
I'll be getting along then, too. Don't want to hold us up.
Who the hell is that?
The attendant I saw boarding the restaurant car came through this gate. I suppose that woman was seeing him off.
This is our company representative from Istanbul? A woman?
Mademoiselle Marceau, this is Tayyip, our engineer.
Are you ready to go?
I have been ready. I am not the slow one here. It is the Serbs.
Can we reach Broad in this weather?
If any engine can get us through, it will be this 460.
I suppose I'll have to take responsibility if we go on.
Company representative? And a woman? No, this is my train, my decision. We go.
What is the report from the station master?
It is not good, I'm afraid. Heavy snow is forecast for the mountains. The passes between Vancouver and Broad will fill up quickly.
Klaus is missing a side of bacon.
He told me. I showed him the manifest. It was not on the Athens-Paris car.
How many passengers joined us here in Belgrade?
Only one. A Greek doctor, I believe.
I think I saw the Athens-Paris coach attendant board the restaurant car just now.
Really? He should be back in the Athens-Paris coach.
That will be enough, Pierre. Antoinette, you're in Belgrade. You can't read these tags. If only I spoke Serbian. Serbian, I suppose. It would have to be Serbian. It is frustrating not to know what it says. Can you read Serbian?
A little. The manifests from Belgrade are in Serbian.
Could you read some tags on a Prague luggage truck for me?
Yes, of course. That appears to be a box of golf balls. That is, I believe, toilet paper, mademoiselle. From the looks of it, that crate contains more carrot juice than Prague will ever need. la Nina. We have found Klaus's beacon, Mademoiselle Marceau.
Will you take it to him so we can get underway?
At once.
Off we go.
I do not protest the addition of you in my room, miss. You have helped me, and I am glad of the company, and I am a Christian lady whose heart is filled with charity.
Fine, that's settled then.
But I have already been picking out the lower bunk for me, because I am afraid of the heights and the sudden stops of trains, and I would not like to return to the children broken.
The upper bunk will do fine for me. I'll look forward to the adventure.
And now, miss, excuse me, please. I will go to the WC, as you call it.
I was educated in England, but I'm French.
Oh? I was educated in Sweden, and I'm Swedish. You call it the toilet? Am I going to the toilet?
Mademoiselle Olsen, how you spend the next few minutes of your life is entirely your own private affair.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Look, one must listen at all times. If you were to listen at the door of any compartment, who knows what you may learn?
I'm still not sure I agree in principle, but perhaps I'd best give it a go.
Alright, so the first time we're actually able to walk around the
I cannot
train.
take these towels. They're of too fine a quality to waste on detective work. There must be something else I can use. Nothing of interest here. It's locked fast. I can't hear through this wood. I'll need something to help me.
What's in here?
This door is tightly locked. I don't think that isn't such a good...
That guy is the most stuck-up human being I've ever met, even for an Englishman.
Ratchet's a valet?
Yeah, massive. Glad I'm not traveling in the same room with him.
Oh, I like everybody. And him, he is as quiet as a little mouse.
You're welcome to him, that's my view. Deal the cards.
I think I've heard all I can.
But look here, Colonel. Your policy in India is obviously self-defeating. You can't keep it as a colony forever, you know.
I don't see why not.
You probably wouldn't have seen why not back in 1776. But America is free as a bird now.
And suffering through one of the worst economic depressions in history, I believe.
You're not seriously suggesting that if the United States had remained a colony of England, we could have avoided a depression?
I don't see why not.
Not a sound. It It's completely quiet in there.
Whatever you're reading appears to distress you.
It doesn't matter.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, Rudolph, it is a nightmare.
I know how hard all of this is for you. The only good thing about nightmares is that eventually we wake up.
Will you help me to be strong?
You are stronger than I, dearest. You have been through so much more.
My love, my love, my love.
Not a sound.
Mr. Snagsby is dismayed to see, standing with an attentive face between himself and the lawyer at a little distance from the table, a person with a hat and a stick in his hand, who was not there when he himself came in and has not since entered by the door or by either of the windows. Yet this third person stands there with his attentive face and his hat and his stick in his hand, and his hands behind him, a composed and quiet listener. He is a stoutly built, steady-looking, sharp-eyed man in black, of about middle age. Except that he looks at Mr. Snagsby as if he were going to take his portrait. There is nothing remarkable about him, at first sight, but his ghostly manner of appearing.
Enough, Schmidt. Detectives are not so superhuman as Mr. Dickens suggests. They are as human as you or I. Now, I will rest for a short while.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I can't hear anything. It's completely quiet in there.
Mademoiselle, what are you doing?
Michel, you startled me. I'm testing. Monsieur Boost tells me there have been complaints from passengers that the compartments are not as soundproof as they might be, so I am testing to see if improvements can be made.
You are certainly being very thorough, mademoiselle.
I think I've heard all I can. I think I see where he went. I'll follow him at a distance.
Were you following me, Mademoiselle Marceau?
I saw the baggage car door was unlocked, and I thought I should check.
I was collecting some biscuits and an extra blanket for Princess Dragomirov.
Ah, good. That is the explanation, then.
May I suggest you return to the Calais coach, mademoiselle? I'll lock up here.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Pardon me, mademoiselle.
This door is tightly locked. The door to the baggage car is locked.
Oh my god.
I think I've heard. I think I've heard all.
No, do I do?
I think I've heard all. I think I've heard all. The door to the app. It's locked fast.
Where do I go?
I think I've heard all. I think I've heard. I think I...
Alright, I'm stuck. I am stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Enter your cabin. Aha.
Hello, Greta. Where have you been?
I am giving the headache powder to the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I do not think travel is suiting her the way it does you, and I miss.
I should return to my sleeping compartment.
You're already there, you silly woman.
Injured, Schmidt. Please stop your fuss.
Everyone, please. The pass is blocked with snow. Nothing more.
Nothing more, he says. Nothing more? I can tell you there will be plenty more when I get in touch with my attorneys. American trains don't slam on the brakes in the middle of the night.
I expect they would if they were about to plow into a wall of snow.
I am afraid we may be here for some time. But this has happened before.
Happened before, has it? What kind of a way is this to run a railroad, I ask you?
At least the worst is over.
Indeed.
Monsieur Poirot, I'm so sorry. I apologize for the train company, for Monsieur Bouc, and for me personally.
Calm yourself, Mademoiselle Marceau. I hold none of you at fault. Not even the engineer, who undoubtedly saved us from being buried by the avalanche.
You have sprained your ankle.
It is not Poirot who has sprained his ankle, mademoiselle. It is the train who has sprained it.
Yeah, The reason I do not sleep in the upper berths is to avoid pain.
Perhaps I should have slept on the floor. Thank you both for your attention. If you would now please to allow me to suffer alone.
If you like.
What can the children of her school be learning?
Was that a cry?
Yes, I think it was.
First, the snow is trapping us. Then, the odd Belgian man injures himself. Now what?
No need to be alarmed. Let me have a look first.
Ce n'est rien. Je me suis trompé.
Bien, monsieur.
Is there drama or calamity?
It was Monsieur Ratchet, but he is well.
Then let us hurry back to sleep.
She's deeply asleep. I'd even hazard to call it the sleep of the just.
There you are. I've been ringing and ringing.
I beg your pardon, madame. Voulez-vous quelque chose? You require?
There is a man in my compartment.
But madame, as you can see, there is nowhere a man could hide himself.
I woke up and a man was there. I felt it.
You say yourself, madame, that your door was bolted. How did he enter? How did he depart?
Avalanches, intruders. What's next?
What now?
I don't get why every time she's in a cutscene she's in her night stuff. Then suddenly here she's changed.
I should try and figure out who that person in the kimono was before I go back to sleep. The door is locked. It's locked fast.
Mademoiselle, please, do not disturb the other passengers.
Michelle, who was the woman in the scarlet kimono?
I am sorry, mademoiselle. I was updating the inventory of the Calais coach supplies. I did not see her face.
What compartment did she come out of?
I am not sure. One of the rooms in the middle of the car, I think. Madame Hubbard's, perhaps, or Monsieur Ratchet. By the time I noticed her, she was moving away from me.
Has anyone been up and about?
Only you and the other lady. It has been quiet for some time.
Has anything unusual occurred?
Well, there was the avalanche, of course. Later, Madame Hubbard insisted she saw a man in her room, but I could find no one.
Did you hear a thud a moment before I appeared just now?
No, I heard nothing, mademoiselle. Perhaps it was in the compartment next to yours, Monsieur Poirot, perhaps. If there's anything else, perhaps it could wait until morning? Mademoiselle, please, do not...
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit in the train till I got to Paris. But now we may be here for days and days. And my boat sails day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even wire to cancel my passage. I feel too mad to talk about it.
My sister, her children wait for me. What will they be thinking? They will be thinking bad things have happened to me.
I have business in Milano. A very rich gentleman with his eye on an Alfa Romeo designed by Enzo Ferrari himself. If I am late, I may lose the sale.
Say, you never said what line you were in. That is very true. I didn't.
We may be here for days. Back in 29, there was a train trapped in the snow like this for a week. The passengers almost starved. I'm told they hunted wolves for food.
There's always cannibalism, of course. I remember one time up near Kashmir, I say. Old man, are you going to eat those rashers of bacon? They're quite nice.
What country is this anyway?
Yugoslavia, I believe.
Oh, one of those Balkan things. What can you expect?
You work for the train company? Yes, but there isn't much I can do, I'm afraid. They'll send out a plow train from Broad. It's standard procedure. I don't blame you. There's nothing anyone can do. Monsieur Poirot is right, Mary. Oh? He said you are the strongest character among us. I agree.
Oh no. No, indeed. I know one far, far stronger than I am.
Who? Michel, you look almost ill. What is wrong?
Pardon-moi. Mademoiselle Marceau, Monsieur Poirot requests you come to his compartment at once.
Who are you, monsieur?
My name is Constantine. There has been a savage murder done in the Calais coach, miss.
I have ordered all of the train doors to the outside to be sealed with the exception of the rear door of the Athens-Paris coach, so that the engineer and the fireman of the train may keep the engine's boiler provided with the coal.
Oh no! Who is being killed?
The American in the room next to this one. Ratchet. You're in charge, I suppose. What do we do now?
We must contact the Yugoslavian police in Vinkovio Broad.
Yugoslavian police? Are you mad? They will detain us all for weeks while they trample evidence and bluster about with no idea how to solve a murder. If only we were in Greece.
Dr. Constantine, you must learn all you can about the murder.
Your faith in my powers is gratifying, miss. But already I have learned all that my expertise can tell me. I am no detective.
Monsieur Poirot, I appeal to you. We cannot wait for the Yugoslavian police.
They will detain us all for weeks while they trample evidence and bluster about with no idea how to solve a murder. If only we were in Greece.
Take command of the investigation.
Oh, must I?
You can be on your way to your important case in England. We can avoid delays, annoyances, and 1,000,001 inconveniences for all the passengers.
I am addressing an important medical conference in London in 2 days.
Oui, c'est vrai. Any additional delay would be difficult.
We both know the longer a crime goes uninvestigated, the more difficult it becomes to solve.
Ah, yes, of course, I remember. You are the student of crime. And what you say is very true. All the same.
Monsieur Poirot, my job isn't much, but it's all I have. The avalanche, your injury, now a murder. If it isn't solved, I will lose my job.
No, you cannot be blamed. I will have a word with Marcel. You have my guarantee that he will not fire you.
Solve the mystery. All we need say when the police arrive is, here is the murderer.
Mademoiselle, use your own powers of observation. Alors Poirot, he is confined to bed in the most serious of pain. How can he take command of anything?
In my scrapbook, I have a quote from you. How does it go? To solve a case, a man has only to sit back in a chair and think. Use the little gray cells of your mind.
I have often used the murderer's own words to spring my trap. And now I am caught by my own. Well done. Eh bien, mademoiselle, I will do what I can. I ask only that you do my legwork. This would appeal to you, I think.
You know it would.
I will issue to you the challenge I once made to my friend Captain Hastings. Accept, and we will play a little game between ourselves. You will need to use your own little gray cells as much as Poirot. And in the end, we will see if the student of crime is ready to graduate. Refuse? I will guide your investigations much more. Either way, the crime, it will be solved. It is an important decision you must make now, before we proceed. I will not ask again. Do you accept?
I am no match for the foremost detective of our time. I'll be content helping you.
As you wish. If you reach an impasse, think only, what would Poirot do? Imagine that I am there beside you, offering counsel. It may help. Oh, the sight of the body will not discomfort you too much, I hope.
Oh, No, I suppose I can do that.
I chose that one because I don't want it to be too difficult. I think last time I made it hard for myself, and as I don't know how you do this game at all, I don't want it to be too hard.
Oh dear. Someone must have stood there and stabbed him again and again.
There is something in the pocket of his pajamas. Something heavy. I did not disturb it.
Egg.
115. That agrees with my calculations.
Has anything been disarranged in this compartment?
No, mademoiselle. I was careful not to move the body in making my examination.
How many wounds are there, Doctor?
I make it 12 wounds. 1 or 2 are so slight as to be mere scratches. On the other hand, at least 3 would be capable of causing death.
Some wounds seem to have bled more than others.
You see these 2 wounds, here and here. They are deep. Each cut must have severed blood vessels, and yet the edges do not gape. They have not bled as one would have expected.
Ratchet was already dead when those were delivered?
Some little time dead.
The murderer returned to make certain Ratchet was dead?
The idea is an absurdity, of course. Even one with no medical knowledge would have been able to tell the man was already quite dead.
The wounds are scattered all over the torso.
Yes, and you see this wound here, under the right arm, near the right shoulder. Could you deliver such a blow? I have a pencil if you would like to try it.
That won't be necessary.
How do you account for it?
The murderer had unusually long arms.
Please let us not stray into the land of Poe with his murderous apes stuffing young girls up chimneys. I know something of apes. They kill by pummeling or crushing, not whittling away at their victim.
Ratchet thrashed about as he was dying?
On the contrary, he lay completely composed. The bedsheets are not disarrayed at all.
A left-handed murderer could strike there easily.
But of course, that blow was almost certainly struck with the left hand. Yet some of these blows are just as obviously right-handed.
Tell me something about the force of the blows.
Some were struck with a terrible ferocity as to drive the knife through hard belts of bone and muscle. Yet others seem to be haphazard and at random, glancing off, doing hardly any damage.
Someone striking with their eyes shut? In a blind frenzy?
And struck so many times with their eyes closed to make sure they had managed to hit a vital organ or two?
Perhaps the killer was uncertain at first, then was overcome with a bloodlust.
Or perhaps the killer tired of his exertions, weakened, yet still enjoying himself too much to leave off.
Could there be two murderers?
Perhaps. Some blows could have been struck by a strong man or very athletic woman. Others are weak. A frail woman, perhaps.
Can you estimate the time of death?
It is difficult to say exactly in these matters. The open window, the cold, you understand, complicates an estimate. But I think I can say definitely that death occurred between midnight and 2 in the morning.
Good day, monsieur.
Alright guys, I think with that we're going to call this a video, and next time we will venture forward and find out if we can solve this murder anymore. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.